Hey there, how's it going? Today I'm going to be talking about this spreadsheet, its intended functionalities, and basically just how to use it. This Google Sheet is more or less a miniature relational database and allows for the staffs of amateur League of Legends teams and I guess semi-professional teams at this point to easily store their match data and from there pull just some basic average statistics from the data set. Um, so the first thing is before we use this sheet, we actually have to request a key from the developers of League of Legends. And so we just follow this link here in the sheet, and I'll go ahead and just log in here. Um, and so we just need to get a new key from Riot and then copy it, and no thank you. And we'll go back over to the sheet here. We'll go to the key section of the sheet and we'll paste our new key. And then we also have to select a region. And in this case, we're going to select NA1 because I am from, or my team plays in the North American server. Um, Now that we have our API key and have selected our region, we can request data from Riot's databases in order to load it into this spreadsheet. So this sheet actually has three main sections. The match wrappers, or three main input sections. We've got match wrappers, we got rosters, and we have players. So the first thing, the most important one is this match wrappers section. You can optionally put in a date here. It's really just for readability of the user. We can put the game type here, so we can filter by scrimmage or tournament games. Um, then we have to put our team name for the blue side, which is just home team or like the one particular section of the map, and then the red team name, because this data isn't saved on Riot servers for custom games or for tournament matches or for scrimmages or anything like that. So we have to feed this in order to maintain our database's integrity. Uh, the match ID section can include the URL meant for Riot's in-browser match history viewer, or it can just be this 10-digit code right here that is just the match ID. Either one, the spreadsheet will handle. So now that we have loaded in a couple entries here of match wrappers, we can go ahead and run the match list function. And so we can append these wrappers into our database. So what it'll do here is it'll request from Riot server, and then using the red team name and blue team name, it will then reference the roster section in order to assign a player name to each list. Because there are 10 players in a League of Legends game, we have to create 10 entries from each separate request of a match file. So um, what the main functionality of this sheet does is it goes through and parses this and gets all the data and then puts it into these, neat little rows and columns for us. So uh, it gets the player names from this rosters list. So we entered home team. So the top laner is going to be in the top position. It'll take this guy's name and it'll uh, put it in this by reference. So now that we have just a couple of games loaded on here, we can actually pull some basic summary statistics from this. We do this by going to the player sheet, and then we will use the stats functions to update the player sheet. And if these names exist in the library of matches, then these stats will update. Um, so yeah, I mean, that is the most basic rundown. There's, some things that I plan on adding, like these statistics here, as well as champion-based statistics, so that way teams can see like what is being picked on average, because this only gives you stats, and doesn't contextualize that, certain stats become higher when you use certain weapons in the game and certain characters and what you're playing versus. So obviously, all of these kind of figures are important and must be digested by somebody with the ability to contextualize them. But yeah, that's basically that. Um, Now that we're here, we can clear the matches sheet. All matches processed get saved into this appended wrapper sheet. Could also be saved, I guess, in an external spreadsheet, but we go ahead and clear the matches off from the matches sheet using the clear matches function. And now we can go back to players and we'll just update it. It should just null them. I don't think it'll, yeah. Um, so because it has 0 games, it just returns some null values, which honestly I should probably fix. But yeah, so that's the most basic run through here of the little custom game database and stack tracker. Hope I didn't bore you, and I hope I got everything across. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can find me at aaron.sc.taylor@gmail.com, or my Twitter handle as well as Instagram is at AriesLOL. So yeah, I appreciate you watching. Hope you get some mileage out of the spreadsheet, and thanks again.